Thank you very much. ICOMOS Lebanon, you now have the floor.
شكرا سيدتي الرئيسة. لن أحتكر الكلام طويلا. In its evaluation of this dossier, ICOMOS says that since the World Heritage Committee has already determined that the property should be inscribed on the World Heritage List, ICOMOS recommends its inscription despite its reservations concerning certain aspects regarding its authenticity and the validity of intensive reconstruction that took place since year 2000. If we read well the World Heritage Committee decision 37-8B43, we see that the committee, while recognizing the OUV of the site, referred it back to the state party in order to allow it, in collaboration with ICOMOS, to take adequate measure for an inscription on the basis of criteria 3 and 6. We see now that criterion 3 is abandoned and replaced by criterion 2 that was not proposed before. To justify this change, ICOMOS says that there is not enough physical evidence to justify inscription based on criterion 3. I'm sorry, but this does not look very professional to us, since given the physical condition of the site as described in ICOMOS report, quote, the intensive reconstruction and new construction that do not respect the scale and character of remaining heritage structures, end quote. It appears as hazardous to speak of physical evidence that justifies criterion 2 as is the case with criterion 3. Hence, in order to preserve its credibility and in order to avoid more public debate that would harm the credibility of the site itself, the committee may choose to inscribe Bulgar based on criterion 6 alone. Although the operation guidelines state that criterion 6 should preferably be used in conjunction with other criteria, inscription under criterion 6 alone was adopted several times by the committee a few years ago, as for example, for the old bridge of Mostar inscribed in 2005 and Apravazi Ghat inscribed in 2006. We would like to have the opinion of ICOMOS concerning the justification of criteria 2 and 6. Thank you.
India, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. May I say how delighted India is at the inscription of the Bulgar Archaeological Complex. If committee members will recall, we were equally convinced last year of the outstanding universal value of this property as we are this year, and would thus unhesitatingly and unequivocally support the inscription of this property in the World Heritage List. India would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate Russia for the outstanding effort put into the nomination dossier to meet the exacting demands for inscription. If anything, this success demonstrates the value of hard work and persistence, which can transform a referral to an inscription, and we yet again congratulate Russia for their success on this front. To sum up, Madam Chair, India is absolutely delighted, and if I may say so, rejoices at the inscription of the Bulgar Archaeological Complex. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, India. Jamaica, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. We believe state parties should be commended for successfully undertaking a deferral process, as is evidenced with the Bulgar Historical and Archaeological Complex. A deferral gives a state party an opportunity to prove their site's OUV, and this in itself must be encouraged and celebrated. Thank you.
Thank you. Germany, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Last year, the committee decided clearly to apply criteria 3 and 4 for demonstrating the outstanding universal value of the site. Instead of 3, now 2 is proposed. There was a clear decision again to criteria 3 has to be justified. We fully support what has been said by the distinguished delegates of Lebanon and Portugal. We go along with the proposal to inscribe the site only on the basis of criterion 6. And I have another remark. I'm a little bit astonished because last year the decision said that ICOMOS get the task to give advice to the state party. Now I got the information that there was a high-level mission, a joint ICOMOS center mission, and I'd like to ask who decided that a joint center and high-level center, ICOMOS and high-level mission was necessary.
Thank you, Germany. Finland, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. Finland would like to congratulate the State Party on the inscription of Bulgar historical and archaeological complex to the World Heritage List. Bulgar have faced difficulties over the years, facing deferrals and even a non-inscription. We are pleased to see that the pieces of the puzzle finally have fallen into place, and it is time to inscribe this historical site, which also have a Finno-Ugrian element on the World Heritage List. Thank you.
Thank you. Colombia, you have the floor.
Gracias, señora presidenta. Muy buenos días para usted y para todos los asistentes. Nuestra delegación considera que este ejemplo de Bolgar es una prueba contundente de los beneficios que trae a todos el profundo respeto por nuestra convención, nuestras directrices operativas, nuestros procedimientos y nuestros cronogramas. Agradece y reconoce el valioso trabajo de ICOMOS a lo largo de todos estos años y respalda plenamente la inscripción bajo los criterios y puntos de vista expresados por el distinguido delegado de Líbano. Gracias.
Thank you. Algeria, you have the floor.
Oui, merci Madame la Présidente. La délégation algérienne se joint à d'autres délégations qui nous ont précédés pour d'abord féliciter la Fédération de Russie pour avoir répondu aux recommandations de l'ICOMOS afin d'améliorer la promotion et la préservation de cet ensemble historique et archéologique de Bulgare. C'est la raison pour laquelle la délégation algérienne appuie très fortement son inscription sur la liste du patrimoine mondial avec les critères qui lui ont été reconnus, et nous considérons en tout état de cause que le critère 6 ne peut être à lui seul considéré, il doit être pris en liaison avec les autres critères, le critère 2 notamment, qui permet justement d'atteindre l'objectif recherché. Merci.
Croatia, you have the floor.
Just be brief, Madam Chair, and I would go along commending the State Party of Russia for their hard work on the nomination of Bulgar. Thank you.
Thank you. Serbia, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. My delegation fully subscribes what was said by the delegation of Senegal and India, and we thank Russia for this important nomination. We fully support the inscription of Bulgaria into the list. Thank you.
Thank you. Malaysia.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our delegation remembers this site was discussed at great length in the last meeting, and we are very happy, delighted that the State Party has done a good job, and we congratulate them on the inscription.
Thank you. I will now give the floor to the Secretariat to respond to the comments made by Germany. Mr.
Thank you, Chairperson.
I lost your name for a moment.
Very simply. Yes, in fact, the committee, as you remember, had asked for ICOMOS advisory mission, which was done during a few days last year. During those days, I happened also to visit the capital of Kazan, because I was giving some lectures there. So we actually met in Kazan, but it was not a joint mission. It was not a high-level mission. It was just a path crossing during that occasion. So for us, we consider this as being complied exactly as the committee had asked.
So that was a coincidence. Vietnam, you have Japan, you now have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Japan would like to support this as it is stands as the original decisions. It's in inscribed criterion 2 and 6. As the applicability of the criterion 3, we have some we need some discussion for that, because it's how to apply criterion 3 for archaeological sites. That is in many sites, many areas in the world. Archaeological sites does not matter, it's also including the underground things. In Asia, is most sites remain in underground, and how much to the judge the authenticity of the archaeological sites, that is also we have to wait for the discussions. So at this moment, Japan would like to support is inscribe the site and the criterion 2 and 6. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Japan, Lebanon.
Yes, Mrs. President, we are coming back to a political discussion. We had reached a consensus on 2 and 6, and Kazakhstan is now asking 3. Okay, stop it. Stop it, please. Stop politicizing things. We are speaking technical. Technically, we all know, all technicians know, that only criterion 6 applies, which is a very nice criterion. It's a very important criterion. For me, it's the most important in the convention. However, we accepted because ICOMOS said, well, criterion 2 may apply. We accepted criterion 2. And now, criterion 3. Okay, why not criterion 1 and 4 and 5 also? Thank you, merci.
Thank you, Lebanon. India.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I too, like Lebanon and some of the earlier speakers, feel that I think we shouldn't overly prolong this debate. This is a clear-cut case for inscription, which I think all of us support. So as far as India is concerned, we too, like Japan, would support that we go ahead with this inscription based on the original formulation, criteria 2 and criteria 6. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. With that being said, Mr. Rapporteur, could you please take the floor?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And according to the interventions of the members of the committee, I think I've understood that the delegation of Poland is in favor of withdrawing their amendment. So there is only one question that still we have on the table, and it is the proposal of Kazakhstan for concerning the addition of criteria 3. There is the only situation that we need to clarify. Otherwise, I think that the committee is in agreement to adopt the decision on the basis of criteria 2 and on criteria
2 and 6.
2 and 6. Sorry. Yes, Madam Chair.
It's
Thank you.
the intervention from Lebanon that muddled you up, I think. But Kazakhstan, would you withdraw the recommendation of inscribing criteria 3?
Yes, Madam Chair. We'll go along with criteria 2 and 6 as the majority.
Thank you. And Germany, are you satisfied?
Yes, we go along with this.
Okay, so with that being said, I see no more comments or objections. I now declare decision 38Com 8B.42 adopted. No amendment, yeah? There is no amendment.